These feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussion.
Hey, we'll start over again. Let's see. All right, here we go. I don't think I had anything on the screen a second ago. Even though you could hear the audio.
Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
It's a house!
Huh?
Did you hear what I said?
It's a house!
Huh?
Did you hear what I said?
It's a house!
Huh?
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. You know, that's just one step above stupid. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Where is it? Where's the damn... There it is, right in there. All right. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Hey, thanks, Carol Silva. I had this weird thing earlier today. What's going on with my camera? Let me move it. There we go. I was I was like on my computer with my elbow on it, and then I was sitting there, and all of a sudden my wrist didn't really work. And then I was like, oh, and then it was numb on there, and then I was trying to, and then it kind of freaked me out, and then I stood up, and then about a minute later it was back to normal. I think I was just like on a nerve or something, but I was thinking, like, oh my God, I mean, it got back to normal, so it kind of freaked me out at the time. Who's Ivan Miller? He's a guy that killed 3 people. He's not related to the case. He's not related to Nancy Guthrie's case. If you've been following my channel, somebody on Twitter, X asked me. Hey, at least we got a commenter on there. Yeah, he killed 3 people in Utah. You know, it's funny though. I was like, wait, man, is that the guy? Is that Nancy Guthrie's killer? Just kidding. Let's see, or if she's killed. So, anyways, in the Ivan Miller case, thanks Richard Watts. I went back through the whole thing and figured out all the different parts. It took me the whole day basically. I know it's sort of. I'll probably make a video on it just to have it out there, but we'll just go over the same stuff, and then we'll do the Nancy Guthrie theories again. You guys can call in. All right. But I want to do this because it's actually more interesting. Like I have all the different locations and visuals. I figured out every single element, basically. Now there isn't a suspect, so it's hard to come up with the highest one. No, nothing's missing. It's right there. You can see the tail of it. Anyways, you guys interested in this or what? All right, so this guy right here, Ivan Miller, he killed 3 different women. And none of the women know each other. 2 of them, none of them know him. 2 of the women are aunt and niece. All right, and their names are Margaret Olroyd, who's 86 years old, who's the first victim, then Linda Dewey, 65, and Natalie Graves, 34. And then it says Miller, 22, appears to have been booked into the Davis County, Iowa jail in December. So on December 31st, he was booked into a jail. According to court records, prosecutors there subsequently charged Miller with a felony count of burglary and misdemeanor counts of theft, marijuana possession, and unlawfully possessing a weapon. As for employment, U.S. Department of Transportation records show Miller received a truck driver's license in October of 2024. Then, according to records, the license was involuntarily revoked. A first notice of the revocation was served on December 17th and effective on January 20th. An online Department of Transportation database does not specify why the license was revoked. Fox 13 has inquired with public affairs staff at the agency and is waiting for a response. Sadly, Brian knows. Oh, and then there's this. I'll just get on to the next part. That's just part of the. I got put onto the wrong section. All right, so here we go. So this is what happened on this particular day. So it was Saturday, which I think is. Yeah, that's actually February 28th would have been Saturday. So February 28th at around 10:30 a.m., it seems like, it doesn't say the a.m. or p.m., but it just says 10:30, is when dispatch was called. They just told me it was a vehicle versus an elk at mile marker 40 on SR 24, Brian explained. All right, so I looked up tow companies in that town. The town, I think it's called not Lyman, it's this other little town over here, Loa it's called. And there is a one towing company, and by the way, it's called Bryan Auto Towing, and Gary Bryan is the individual, and that's the person who is the tow truck driver that picked him up. And it turns out that was way over here. And way up here this is mile marker 40. Took a while to find that. And you can see it right there. Mile marker 40, and somewhere right in this area, his vehicle hit an elk. All right. Then, let's get back to the article. Yeah, so he was dispatched to a vehicle versus an elk at mile marker 40. Brian explained. He works at a local auto parts store that was called out about 13 miles from Loa to tow Miller's truck after he hit an elk. The vehicle was smashed up, and we just loaded it up, and the customer got in with me and rode back to town, said Brian. And we unloaded his vehicle and come in the shop and did the paperwork. Looking back, Brian is most disturbed that Miller didn't give him a bad gut feeling at all. It all just felt normal. He just seemed like a normal dude. I had no idea to think that it was him, he said Thursday. I mean, he called here to shop and talk to us on Monday morning. Let's see, he called here. Let's see, I had no idea to think it was him, he said Thursday. I mean, he called here to shop and talk to us on Monday. So after he was towed back to that little town on Saturday, he came in on Monday and said he'd caught a ride out of here and that he wanted to come back this coming Saturday and pick up his stuff. He talked to me just normal. Sadly, Brian knows all the women who were killed, and their deaths hit him as they have the rest of the community. Brian was best friends. So Brian was best friends with Margaret, the 86-year-old's sons. They asked what the residents in Wayne County need right now, and he had a simple answer that I don't have on there. So I'll probably just cut it off right there. All right, let's see. Then we go to the next part. Yeah, and so this is the vehicle when it was smashed up. Hit an elk, right? So obviously that's a real thing that really happened. And then This is the tow truck place. So when he said he worked at an auto body shop, this Brian guy, see, it's Brian Auto, and then here's Napa Auto Parts. So it was right there. And then apparently in this town is where, he stayed at a hotel. And I got this narrative that I built over here. It says, after Ivan Miller was towed from mile marker 40 off of SR 24 to Loa, Utah by Brian's Towing, he sold the vehicle to the towing company. So it was just totally, it was totaled. So he sold his vehicle to the towing company and stayed in a hotel for a few days. All right, well, there's only one hotel in this town. And by the way, you guys, if you're watching the show, if you could help support the channel, that would be great. I know I'm reading and going over stuff, which seems to always be the death knell in on the show. So if you have the ability to help support the channel, that would be great. There's a hotel right here called the Snuggle Inn, which is literally just down the block from the Brian Auto Towing right here. So this is likely the hotel that he stayed in. I mean, I would say that's, just a very good shot since it's the only hotel in that town, right? He then likely traveled by foot approximately 2.7 miles from the hotel, and that would have been, so he was in the town on Saturday, and then he makes his way down, I believe, on, it's Tuesday, the 3rd. He heads down there, down the highway. So what I'm saying is like right here. So if we got rid of these two things here, this is the towing, where his vehicle hit an elk. And then he made it over to the auto body shop and then stayed in this hotel with the money that he got by selling his truck. And then he ran out of money. And then he walks down the highway here. I'm pretty sure it's 3 miles. And look how crazy this is. So he's walking down this highway. Do you see any homes at all? Do you see anything at all? You see this thing. I don't even know if that's a house, but let's just go like that. Look, you go down. And it's 3 miles. And then he goes to the first home that he sees. I mean, it's literally the first house that shows up. And then he goes into that shed over there. So let's just go there. So he went 2.7 miles from the hotel east down SR 24. The first house off of the road was 398 West SR 24. This home was owned by 86-year-old Margaret Oldroyd. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. According to the charging document, Ivan, after he was arrested, stated he stayed overnight on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, in the back shed of Margaret's property. The next morning, on March 4th, Miller advised that he saw a Buick, and he said it was a LeSabre, but it was actually a white Buick Regal, at that location and watched the old lady, Margaret, drive away. Miller then entered her home, waited for her behind a door, and shot her in the back of the head with a Rock Island 1911 handgun while she was sitting down watching a television. Miller said he cleaned up the scene the best he could, dragged her to the outbuilding that he was stayed overnight in, and further down into the cellar/basement where he ultimately left her. Miller said he grabbed his stuff and took the car, but he did not like the car. He's like, oh man, I don't like this car, and then he wanted to find a different vehicle. And so the vehicle type here is a white Buick Regal, and it's crazy because that's her car right there on Google Earth. And then if you go down to Street View, as we were showing, there is the vehicle right there. And this is, 2024. It's not even recent, but it's likely parked in the same place. There's the shed. And then let's show a picture of that. And look, That's not the one I was going to look at. That was a really old version. This one right here is absolutely the same vehicle. Look at that. Not the same angle, but you can see the lights. Everything's very similar. So that's the car that he got into. And what it looks like there from actual photographs, there's the house there, and then there's the shed in the background. Here's a crime scene tape. And then we have a picture inside the actual shed that he was sleeping in. And apparently there's a way to go down into a cellar/basement there. All right, so Miller then, let's see, Miller said he grabbed his stuff and took the car, but did not like the car and wanted to find a different vehicle. Miller then headed east on SR 24 and likely is turning right on North Teesdale Road and driving about 6.5 miles to a trailhead of the Crooks Combe rock formations. Okay, so that place that I found yesterday was, within a couple miles, but it wasn't the right spot. All right, so here we go. He gets in the car, and then he does this route right here. Stays on Highway 24, and I think he's got a mapping program. And I don't know. There is a sign right here, and I think he took this right here to go down through this town and then right to this spot there. So this is Highway 12 here. Now it's possible he drove down like this and then took a right and went up into there. Okay, this doesn't necessarily, that's just the quickest way to get there. But maybe from down here he was driving. You can take an exit right there, or even right here you could turn and get up into there. And that's the same road, Teesdale Road. All right, and so this is absolutely where the location was. So I think yesterday I thought it was right, I think here or something like that. Yeah, I think it was just right over in this area. So it's pretty close, but this is 100% the spot. So let's keep reading here. Miller said he parked the vehicle at the trailhead where he saw a young woman and an older woman get out of a white Subaru Outback. And here are those two women right here. So that's Natalie Graves, 34, who's the niece of this lady right here, Linda Dewey, 65. And by the way, here's the exact type of 1911 that he was using right there. Are you guys here? You're still in hello mode. Let's focus in on the cool details here. All right, let's see. Linda is the aunt of Natalie. Ivan Miller said he went up to them and shot the younger one, Natalie, that young one that you just saw, in what he thought was the chest, and she went down. Miller then shot the other one, Linda, twice in the body, but that she was still moving. So then Miller then stabbed her multiple times in the heart, 3 times, not 3 times, it says 3 spent .45 caliber shell casings and a spent 20 gauge shotgun shell were near the bodies, were near where the bodies were located. Ranger Hodgson noted it appeared the bodies were possibly dragged to where they were laying, which was in a dried up creek bed. Later, Ivan Miller would admit to dragging both alleged victims at Combe Rock to a ditch, laying them next to one another. Miller said he did it because he needed the money. Miller said that he took their credit cards and used the older woman's card to buy gas. Miller then left the Buick and took off in the white Subaru Outback, it says like a Cache Valley bank card belonging to alleged victims 2 and 3, 2 debit cards, a credit card, and an identification card belonging to another alleged victim were located in Miller's wallet following his arrest. Law enforcement officers spoke with the husband of one of the alleged victims who owned the white Subaru. And that's the Subaru that he switched in. He took the Buick He parked it, he killed both the women, took their credit cards, etc., and then drove off in their Subaru. And they were able to track that vehicle using a key fob. But it says law enforcement officers spoke with the husband of one of the alleged victims who owned the white Subaru. The husband was able to use an application on his phone to track the current location of the key fob for the white Subaru. Specifically, the key fob for the white Subaru was located in the area of Main Street and Hallmark Drive in Farmington, New Mexico at approximately 9:13 p.m. on March 4th, 2026. Hold on a second. Yeah, we'll be talking about Nancy. Can we talk about another case for a couple minutes, though? Can we talk about another case for a couple minutes, Winter? Is it okay? I know it's just, ooh, you're just so antsy. Can you just wait a minute? This one is way more interesting, believe it or not. This has all the facts. We're looking at it. It's really interesting. Don't worry. We'll get to it. Jesus, man. It's like 2-year-olds. Let me go down to the street right here. Man, so frustrating. All right, we go right there. And this is the spot. They have a crime scene. Look at this shot right here that was in the paper. And I was able to, just using the information out there, find this precise spot. You can barely see it, but that little peak right there is this one. And then this and that are right here. So that means their vehicle was just parked. You can see that bush, this bush right there and that one. That's this one. So that means they're parked just on the other side of that. And so that's where he killed both of those women, right there. And then he took them into a dried up creek bed. He dragged them, and I don't know what that means. Maybe that's like right over here or something. It's hard to tell where that is. Maybe over here, something like that. It was like in a ravine, but I don't see anything like that. Law enforcement was then advised that the white Subaru Outback had been located on a license plate reader near Durango, Colorado, after the husband said, hey, look, maybe it was Life 360 and it had the key fob on there, or just even, a lot of the vehicle companies out there, like Subarus actually, they actually have an app for finding things like your key fob, etc. So, that's probably exactly how they did it. I don't think it was Life 360. Yeah, so then it was located near Durango, Colorado. So after the killer left this area here, he then drove this location. So he goes down here and then up Highway 12, back up into here, and then you have to take this crazy route because that's the quickest route. Look at how out of the way you have to go. Way up in here and then way down like this, driving around, and then a license plate reader picks him up right over in this area here in Farmington, New Mexico. Law enforcement in Colorado located the white Subaru in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. The vehicle was observed at a Phillips 66 gas station located at 642 San Juan Street in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Yeah, so they got it in Durango. This is the Farmington location. And then, let's see. And then this is the last location in, I believe, Pagosa. Is that what town this is? Hey, thanks, Allie Cake. Yes, Pagosa. So he was observed right here at a gas station, and he used one of the victim's cards. And then he went over here and he saw a cop, so he drove behind the building. But that app probably could show exactly where the car was parked. So again, law enforcement in Colorado located the white Subaru in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. The vehicle was observed at a Phillips 66 gas station located at 642 San Juan Street in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, where a white male, approximately 6 feet tall, with dark hair. So I think they probably could see that he used a credit card. Then they looked at the surveillance footage and could see what he looked like. He was wearing a red jacket, khaki pants, and was observed with the vehicle. The white Subaru was later found abandoned in the area of 449 Pagosa Street in Pagosa Springs. So it wasn't really abandoned, you know. And the suspect fled on foot. Law enforcement officers in Colorado secured the white Subaru and took photographs of the outside of the vehicle and the inside of the vehicle contents that were visible through the window. A cell phone was plugged in, so he meant to go back. You know, he was charging his freaking phone into a phone charger and appeared to be in the center console of the vehicle. Officers also observed a magazine to a handgun with what appears to be 45 caliber ammunition in the single stack magazine and what appear to be 20 gauge shotgun shells. This ammunition visually matched ammunition found on the scene of the Coxcomb crime scene, and that's that location where both the women were killed. Miller said that his intent was to get back to Iowa and came to Pagosa to get gas when he saw the police officer and drove to the back of the building where the vehicle was found and stayed in the area to see if he could get to his car. It's a little bit like Tyler Robinson, you know. He was trying to get back to that gun, but police already knew it was there, you know. Miller confessed that it had to be done, he said. But he didn't like to do it, he just had to do it. Miller described one of his alleged victims as having blue or purple hair and that they were lesbians. Miller claimed that all the alleged victims were shot with the 1911 handgun. When asked what he had done with the knife he had used, Miller produced the knife during the interview. I mean, this guy has there's not going to be a trial in this case here. Isn't that crazy? I mean, you know, we went over it yesterday, but I was able to find all the precise locations, including where he hit the elk. That's the gas station that they saw him on camera at. Then apparently he just drove right over to here. That's a restaurant. And then he went behind the building, so maybe over in this area. But they knew where he was. All right, well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this case is, it's crazy. But nobody's talking about it at all. This is one of those ones where, you know, you sort of wonder. He's only 22, I think. So, I mean, he's not really old, but man, this guy, somebody like that, maybe he killed people when he was a trucker for a little bit. Anyway, so that's the entire route. The elk, he had an elk there. He was taken to Bryan Auto Towing, then stayed in the Snuggle Inn for a few days with the money that he got from selling the truck that he just totaled. Then he likely just walked down the road here, went over to Margaret Oldroyd's home, and went into her shed right here, and then observed Margaret drive away in her Buick, and then at that time he goes into the house. Then Margaret shows back up, and he hid behind a door, and then she sat down to watch TV, and he shot her in the head. Then he dragged her body out of the house, back into the shed, and then down into an underground cellar. And then he took her credit cards. Then he drove away in her Buick down the road like this. But he didn't like the Buick. So he's got to go kill somebody else because he didn't like the Buick. Then he makes his way over to the Coxcomb area. It's like a rock formation. And he drives up into here. And then two other women show up in here. And it's Linda and Natalie. They get out of the car. He walks up and he shoots the younger one in the stomach, in the chest, and killed her. And then he shot the aunt, twice. She was still moving around, so he stabbed her in the heart 3 times. Then he left the Buick there, got into the Subaru of the 2 women, took their credit cards too, and then he drove away. Then after he drove away, he went this way. He went up and all the way up there, around. Ironically, he drove right by Linda Dewey's home, which is right there. He wouldn't have known that, but he drove way up here, around, and eventually, by the time law enforcement was even aware that the ladies were missing, then they looked at the app, and they could tell where he was. He was in Farmington, New Mexico. And then eventually they have him purchasing gas at a gas station in Colorado. And then just down the street, he parked the car. He had all of his stuff in there. And police ended up capturing him. I mean, it's just the craziest thing. You know, I mean, what a psycho. All right? So didn't you find that interesting anyways? But hey, guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel? We're doing another struggle again, just every single night. I mean, I thought that was interesting enough to spend the whole day getting that information all locked in. You'd think it would have a little bit more energy in terms of supporting the channel. So if you guys could please help the channel tonight, that would be great. Thanks. Whew. Yikes. All right, let's see. Yeah, great. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. I can tell. All right, we're switching over to Nancy Guthrie. I don't know, there's just random articles that come out every day. I don't know if there's anything incredibly new in them. Have you seen any interesting posts today at all? But hey, guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel tonight? We need channel memberships gifted. We need challenges. We need the whole thing moving forward. I just did a 35-minute presentation on a case and got very little support there. So it'd be fantastic if we were able to do that. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. I think I'm going to make a video on that. Put it out there. I think it's got pretty good details in there. Yeah, thanks, Pam. Yeah. But like you say, if you're not talking about Nancy Guthrie, people aren't willing to support the channel, so we got to get back to that. Try to make it. Let's see. I always feel like I got to rush through it because you can see the, you get to like 260, and then people start bailing because we haven't started talking about Nancy Guthrie yet. I don't think it's so frustrating, you guys. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, good for him. He's got a court date. Yay, it's so interesting. All right, Nancy Guthrie remains missing after her disappearance 3-4 days ago. The mother of today's show star, Savannah Guthrie, Nancy, vanished from her home in Tucson, Arizona on February 1st, 2026. She had returned home in a late... Yeah, we already know. Despite the release of images of a man who was captured tampering with their doorbell camera. That's why this is sort of similar to the Delphi case. Yeah, we already talked about that, Vivian, 100 times. Who knows? Let's see. But here's the thing: didn't you watch when Savannah and Annie walked over to that little memorial with Tommaso? They looked like they liked him. They weren't suspicious of him. I mean, literally had their arm around him, etc. You know. So where, what's the connection? I guess. Thank you, Cinnamon Sun Freak. Man, that's going to be a tough one tonight. Despite the release of images of a man who was captured tampering with their doorbell camera in the moments before she vanished, nobody has been caught, and Nancy's suspected abductor remains at large. As the days roll by, many are now questioning if Nancy will ever be found, with Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI both still following all possible leads. Well, I mean, having the FBI there, and if you can't find answers, then it's tough, okay? Pima County Sheriff's Department is not, keeping the FBI from doing anything. They do whatever the hell they want. It comes as the toxic truth about Savannah Guthrie, today's show's return, has been revealed. The toxic truth. What's that? With few confirmed leads publicly revealed, experts say investigators often look first at the people closest to a victim, including those living nearby. During a recent discussion about the case, journalist Brian Enton asked whether someone living near Guthrie could be responsible. Well, when anybody says, could the person live nearby, and you haven't caught the person yet, what value does that question have at that point? I mean, the investigators can't say no. They can't live nearby because they don't even know who it is. It's like, the things like, is it possible that, could this be... Yeah, I mean, everything could be this, it could be that. What's the most likely thing is the key, right? Yeah. So, retired FBI agent Maureen O'Connell, during a recent discussion about the case, Brian Enton, whether living near Guthrie could be responsible, Enton asked on his recent YouTube channel, have you thought about whether the person could be someone very close in proximity to Nancy's house? No, they've completely eliminated that thought. They went, nope, no way it's somebody close. It's got to be, come on. I mean, retired FBI agent Maureen O'Connell said, I absolutely do because it happened so many times. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it's more often than not that someone that's really close. Could this be a neighbor? Yes. Of course it could be a neighbor. You know why? Because we don't know who did it yet. Yeah, so even though they may be a person in the neighborhood, they're going to be looking for patterns. Federal agents were returning to Guthrie's neighborhood this week as the investigation continues. Agents were also seen speaking with several neighbors on Thursday, March 5th, as they continued canvassing the area, according to recent reports. David Muir paused his show to acknowledge the case this week with ABC host, who previously covered the horrific situation, telling his audience the search took a new turn. What's that? Tonight there's news in the Nancy Guthrie case, he said. Detectives in Tucson are back in the neighborhood, going door to door asking neighbors if they had any Wi-Fi lapses. So we went over all that stuff last night. See, that's just one of those same questions, Cindy. It's exactly the same thing. We are sure it wasn't the first guy you talked about, right? I don't know. Who's sure about anything? You know? Nobody knows anything. They haven't arrested anybody. The first person we talked about was a family member. Remember? There wasn't ever some other first guy. You mean the guy that they pulled over that one night down in south near the border? I guess. Is that what you're talking about? Alright guys, any chance we could get some support for the channel? We're currently at 1/15th of a nightly goal. Not even close. I don't know what you're talking about, Cindy. Yeah, I don't know when you say the first story he talked about. Who? What? What are you talking about? Or do you do this on purpose? Jesus. Like, what does that mean? On Thursday, March 5th, the Pima County Sheriff Department and the FBI went door to door, interviewing residents and asking whether they had observed anything unusual with their internet connections. Several homeowners in the area told NBC News that agents who came to their residences Thursday to ask whether they experienced any disruptions or problems with their internet service on the night Nancy vanished. Residents told the news outlet that agents indicated many people living in the neighborhood reported experiencing glitches with their internet that evening. Yeah, I mean, does everybody start seeing, oh, I remember we had a glitch? You know, I mean, did you ask them about the glitch that day, the next night? I think that would be a lot more meaningful. When you ask people about something later, they go, you know, I remember we did have I mean, come on. Prove that you had a glitch. You know? Let's see. I don't think they have any idea. Hey, thanks, Allie Cake. I don't know what you're referring to when you say, no, the guy that killed... What? Yeah, well, I said at the beginning of when I talked about it, I was just goofing around. I said, hey, maybe this guy killed Nancy too, you know? I mean, it's different information. I mean, why would he take Nancy out of it? I mean, he was looking for money, but, you know, where was he before? I mean, wouldn't that be interesting, right? I mean, that's what I said. That case. I don't know if that... You know, I would just throw it out there kind of jokingly. Yeah, I know, I said that already. Cindy, did you see that? I don't know if he's connected or not. I don't think so. I mean, the odds of that are pretty low. There's a lot of psychos out there. I mean, it's not horrendously far away from Arizona, where all this took place. Arizona's right here. So he would have had to have been way down there, and then come up here, and, you know. It isn't the same MO. That's why I don't think there's no same MO whatsoever. Yeah. It's totally different. In this case, he went into a house wearing a balaclava, and he abducted somebody out of the house and took her, and apparently didn't take anything else that was in there. The credit cards, for example. Man, wouldn't he have taken those? That's what he did in all the other cases. Yeah, I don't see any similarities. That's why it was sort of a tongue-in-cheek comment, But you just never know, I guess. Hey, thanks Betty Black for getting a membership. Well, I don't know if they looked into it. It just happened. This just happened, you know, the 3rd and the 4th. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, somebody probably turned in and said, hey, what do you think of this? I mean, I looked at his face. He does have the goatee and stuff, but it's light brown. And, you know, it just doesn't seem like it looks the same to me. But you never know, right? And it's in the general same area, you know, the southwest. I mean, he would have had to done it before he was here. Yeah, and it's sort of interesting, the timeline in terms of like he had a... when I put the thumbnail together, I thought, you know, that's when I looked at it and went, wow, what if he's the guy, you know? But I just don't... It just seems like... He doesn't have a... You know, he killed an 86-year-old, right? So I guess that would be something that's similar. And then he killed a 65-year-old, so he doesn't care about killing older people. I guess you just say, why did he take her out of the house? Yeah, I just don't think it's the same person. Well, we wouldn't have heard definitely because they haven't probably even had time to process something like that. It just happened. So we don't know. God, look at the dogs. They're going nuts down there. They're just overwhelmed with excitement. Yeah, it'd be cool though, Cindy, if that was the reality. You know, then it'd be like, oh, look at that. Yeah, we've been covering that case. I bet you nobody else in the true crime community has been covering that case with the 3 women. Because it just doesn't, you know, people aren't interested. You know, we got to do something else. They'll probably start picking up on it later, you know. They also said they couldn't say if they had internet issues. However, one couple living close to Nancy told NBC News on Friday that they discovered a problem with one of their Ring cameras that night. The couple revealed that their property has 4 Ring cameras, and the one nearest Nancy's house displayed not available when they reviewed footage from overnight hours. See, I think that one thing is important. Like, that's interesting. You know, just that right there. Don't you think? I mean, out of all the people talking, oh, yeah, mine didn't work, blah, 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 blah. Who the hell knows? Who's looking at their freaking thing at night? Hey, thanks, Betty Black. But this one right here, that was very kind of you. Thank you so much. Betty Black. Yeah, right here. The one that there was 4 cameras on their home, and the one that's facing and closest to Nancy's home has not available when they reviewed the footage from that exact time that night. That's crazy. I mean, the odds of that are really low, you know, like of it not being, you know, something. Well, if you believe he has a jammer, then that's like almost 0 chance that's not why, you know. That's just, it's too coincidental for me. All the rest of the people saying, oh yeah, you know, mine might seem to be out too. As I was up at 2:30 in the morning. Okay. I doubt it. Let's see. So it says not available when they reviewed footage from the overnight hours on the day Nancy was abducted. Meanwhile, their other cameras, positioned further from Nancy's residence, function normally, according to the couple. They explained that they have never encountered the not available message before and described it as uncanny. Yeah, see, that's true. That it occurred precisely during that time frame. Right, exactly. That's a big deal right there. That's really weird, isn't it? I mean, see, this is how I talk about it. They told NBC News, to date, the FBI and the Sheriff's Department haven't addressed the reported internet issues or explained why investigators were posing that question. Let's see what this one is. I mean, this one's from today, but... As the search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother nears its 6th week, law enforcement remains mobilized, seeking a breakthrough in the case while pursuing thousands of leads. In a March 2nd interview with NBC News, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said he remained hopeful that Nancy Guthrie was still alive, despite not having been seen. I mean, it's great to be I mean, man, if she's alive, that is absolutely crazy, you know. But hey, guys, we're currently only about, I don't know, 1/6 or 1/7 of the nightly goal. So if you guys could please help support the channel. My channel relies on the generosity of the people watching, similar to a waiter or a waitress or something like that. I just do the shows, the people support the channel, and then I give back thousands and thousands of dollars every year to various true crime related charities, while also maintaining an income to survive as a YouTube channel. So when we have nights when people aren't helping the channel, that's when it gets really difficult. So if you guys can, buy some channel memberships for people or whatever you can do, that'd be great. Thank you. Remember that one? There was a house there that law enforcement went to right next door, actually. This one. There was a camera right on the side that they were looking at. And maybe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one's closest to, I don't know. Or maybe it's one of these, right? Could be even this one, where there's a camera on this side and then 3 over there. Don't know. The Sheriff's Department continues to work with the FBI on the case, Nanos added. Savannah Guthrie visited the Today Show studios amid her ongoing hosting hiatus. Here's where the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance stands as the search nears its 6th week. Nancy Guthrie has not been seen since January 31st. Has it been that long? Gee, that's crazy. And her family reported her missing the following morning. Apparently nobody heard what I just said. Man, there's nothing worse, man. When you give your pitch for the channel and why you should support it, and not a soul jumps in. That's just I don't know what you call it. What are investigators looking at? During the report on NBC Morning Talk Show on March 6, NBC News correspondent Liz Crutch shared that authorities canvassing Nancy Guthrie's Tucson neighborhood Thursday. Yeah, it's similar. I think, is this the same? What have the DNA results from the gloves found near Nancy Guthrie's home revealed? Nothing. Has a car seen on surveillance video been identified? What do you mean? Well, when you say has the car, are you talking about the Kia? There isn't a the car. That's the one. Well, remember the FBI said that car is not related. Is anybody here? Because Betty Black typed in, wonder if that neighbor had the same video drop January 11th about 10 minutes ago. Wild Bill Wassman again. You're so nice, thanks. All right, Wild Bill Wassman has a challenge. Okay. So it's 2 for 1. If we get 5 individuals to donate 1 channel membership, then he'll donate 5 all by himself. So that means on your end, it's 2 for 1. Let's see if that can happen. Apparently when I ask, just falls on deaf ears. Let's see if we can, if Wild Bill Wassman's challenge can work. That'd be great. I think if that works, we'll be at about 40%. Phoenix 602. From a distance, you look just like... let's see, what is that? Man, I can hardly even see it. Hey, we got Alley Cake and Miss Kyla. Thank you, guys. And then we're going to open up the lines here. Who's calling in? We'll even get Raven to call in. All right. That's funny. The Phoenix 602 from way back here looks like Coco Love. That's funny. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Vicky Retro Queen Bee Art. Man, that's a long name there. Retro Queen Bee Art. So you make images of a queen bee, old type, from a long time ago. Don't call me call in again. I don't know what that means. Well, don't make me call in again. Yeah, well, anybody can call in, but yep, we need 1 more gifted channel memberships, you guys, and then we can reach Wild Bill Wassman's challenge. Who's going to do it? You have an art channel? Yeah. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. We still need 1. Who's going to do it? We need 1 gifted channel membership. All right. Well, that one's pinned at the top. Man. We got those first 4 really quick, and then people went, yeah, forget it. We just need the 1 more there. That one's not a gifted channel membership. We need 1 gifted channel membership, you guys. Thank you, Cheryl, for joining. It's the equivalent to 2 Snickers bars. I'm sure you can do it. Oh, yeah? There we go. There's Randizzle Randy. All right. And Misty got that one. What was your challenge, Betty? I didn't see yours. Oh, if everyone gives $1 once we hit 50, I'll match it. All right. Well, there you go. What do you guys think of that one? When you say everyone, though, you mean 50 different people? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure what that means. That's a weird one there. If everyone gives $1, once we hit... Oh, yeah. Like, I see. If 50 people did $1, then boom, you would match the 50. Wow, that'd be sweet. What if you did, once we reached 50, because it's really hard to get 50 different people. There's a lot of people out there that just, they'll never support a channel. So, but if you had $50 worth, would that be good? Or does it have to be 50 people doing... Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. All right, so Betty Black has... So here's what we can do with Betty Black's. She has one where if we... so it's either $50 or you can even donate. Channel memberships can be part of that because those are worth $5. So if somebody does 5, that's 25. And then once we get to 50, she'll match the 50. That's a... Man. Another 2-for-1er. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you so much. Betty Black. Let's see what happens. So what have we got now? 249. Somebody else will have to add it up. I gotta... So let's see. All right. So my theory over here, I've told you guys, but never know. There's new people watching. I think this is probably, a little more likely than not that this is somebody that doesn't know, that isn't a family member. And this is somebody that went to the house specifically to abduct Nancy Guthrie for a, probably just to do a ransom. But something went wrong and a ransom was never able to be obtained. And then they just sort of washed their hands of the situation and took off. And I think that because of various reasons. You see what I'm talking about? It got stuck right there. 2 people and then boom. But yeah, I mean, if we get so basically, Betty Black is going to send, or at least, said she'd send in 50 if we get to 50 through gifted memberships or super chats. So we're at $2.48. Anyway, you guys can help support the channel. That's a great way to do it because it doubles it up. Yeah, so what I think happened here was, I mean, I can actually show it on my screen over here. So I have an animation. So I think he, parked the car in the neighborhood over here. And then he walks out. He could have parked anywhere. I'm just throwing you out a number, like, oh, here's a spot, right? And then he walks down the neighborhood in the darkness, 140 or so. Goes up the driveway, goes into the archway. And then here he is, going into the archway in the actual video itself. And then he tries to remove the camera. Now, if you notice, he doesn't really care that he's on camera here. He needs to remove the camera because he knows eventually he'll be parking a car right there behind him, and that camera would see him. So first he tried to cover it with something because maybe that's all he really needed to do. And then secondly, when that didn't work, he removed the camera and then probably disconnected it. All right. So this doesn't work, and then I think this is probably right around 147, right around now. Boom, he removes it. Then he exits the area now, because now he's got to wait somewhere for about 20 minutes, and he's going to go back to his car, wherever it was parked. I just chose a spot. He goes back to the car, and he's going to wait 20 minutes. Whatever. I mean, he didn't probably pick a time. Maybe he did. Maybe he actually literally had a 20-minute countdown. And then, boom, he goes over to the car. Wherever he went, he might have been waiting in the woods or something. And he waits over there 15, 20 minutes or so. And then he gets into the car and he drives the vehicle to the house. Once he realized no cops were showing up because of the motion and him removing the camera, he was thinking that maybe somebody might show up. And then he pulls into the driveway right there. And then the suspect will get out of the vehicle and go around the back of the house. And I think he went to the left because there's a camera on the right, and that didn't seem to pick up anything. Then he goes around the back of the house, maybe back behind the pool there. Thanks, Linda Howell, Randizzle Randy, Wild Bill Wasman. Goes around the back, and then he climbs over the fence, and then boom, right at that time, right there, boom, that flash, that's when that camera picked him up at 2:12. And then he goes into the house, probably like 2:14 or so. And then he, confronts Nancy in there, whatever he was doing. And then he ends up taking her out the front, because that's where the car is going to be parked. That's why the camera had to be removed. See the car right there? And then he walks out. Nancy's at the green. And then he gets her into the vehicle. Now, I don't know what type of vehicle it was. I just have a vehicle there. So don't go, hey, Gray, you had the wrong vehicle, you bastard. And then he drives out with Nancy and takes her out of there. Isn't that crazy? But that seems like that's kind of what happened there. Right? Now, they might have other information that would change all of that. I don't know. And then we know that she came out this way because of this right here. Watch this. I guess that is a shirt of Nancy's that they use for a scent dog, okay? People keep telling me that, so we'll just have to go with that.
Pretty good.
So look at that. See, that's blood. All this stuff is blood, and that means it made it all the way to the last tile there. See, 1, 2, I think there's even some right there. And then because of that, then let's just move it forward. And then he goes back here, and all the way down here, there's blood right there. See that? And so if we know it's the last tile, just check this thing out. I like to look at it like this. So if we go to number 10 here, and then I think right here when he turns around, this is perfect. See, right now, right there, Nancy was right to there, you guys. Isn't that crazy? So I think when just looking at stuff like that is where you just go, yeah, so now it's obvious. So Nancy made it to that spot because there's blood on that tile right below that left foot there. And then she was probably made to move all the way down that path into the awaiting car that was down there. All right? So where did we get to, you guys? So if you guys gift channel memberships and do super chats, adding up to 50, Betty Black's going to match it. So that'll be a huge help in trying to reach the goal tonight, you guys. So let's see if we can do that. Oh my God, look at Tamsters did 5. So that's worth 25 right there, Betty Black. Very cool. So what are we at now? If that's 25, we're getting pretty close, right? Is that what was remaining, Wild Bill? All right, sweet. There you go. So 1351 to go. All right. Man, thanks so much there, Tamsters. So what do you guys think of that? And this right here is aspirated, or expirated, I mean, blood spatter. It's like a cough. Now people come up with this, I think it's ludicrous when people say that they're being firemen carried out. I mean, I guess it's not like ludicrous, but it's just not very practical or anything, you know? And then plus your head's off the ground, and if you're fireman carrying, you know, he probably would have got blood on his pants and stuff, and I just think he was walking to her right. Yeah. Yeah, there's no staging here, you guys. No, there's no could it be staged, no. Well, here's the thing. When somebody says, could it be staged? You know what my answer has to be? Sure. Okay? But the truth is, it's like, 1 in a million that was staged, okay? This is real stuff that happened here. But I have to say yes, because sure, anything's possible. That's why I hate those questions. It's just, hey, Gray, is it possible that... And then when I have to say yes, somebody goes, see, I knew it, man. It's the... All right, guys, we need 3 gifted channel memberships basically to get there. Hey, there's one. Oh, there's Wild Bill Wassman again, the show saver at a lot of nights. So thank you so much. And well, that's the thing. I think it could be that somebody hurt her and she died later. Not then. She wasn't dead. She was still alive when she was being moved out of the house. So picture this right here. That's this, like, even just look at that. You could almost pretend that that's Nancy. See how, like, but more bent over when the cough happens. And she's still alive because she breathed out blood there, right? And then right there, she's still alive, obviously. And then as you make it down, I mean, I think she left the house alive and then something happened to her later. Okay, you guys, 2 more gifted memberships and we'll have reached Betty Black's goal. All right. Can we do that? That would be awesome. And then we'll be at about 70%. Yeah, he just like pried that sucker off and, you know, apparently it didn't keep connecting, so he must have broke it. Or he put it into a Faraday bag, as they say. No, there's no point in animating that. The FBI said that vehicle is unrelated. The timing of it was interesting, though. And they said it was unrelated. Now, did they say that to give comfort to who they think it might really be? Or, you know, who the hell knows, right? Thank you, Michelle H. All right, we need 1 more of those, you guys, and we'll have reached Betty Black's challenge. Right. I don't think that's... I think she just had something made her nose bleed. She was on blood thinners. I mean, just probably the smallest little thing, she'd have a pretty severe bloody nose, you know. That's what I think. Yeah, that's right. We just need 1 more. Who's going to do it? Cecil? Come on, you can do it. Conspiracy. No, there's no conspiracy here. No. Yeah, see, the conspiracies I could see people coming up with are like, oh, the sheriff, he has a television show, so he wants a big splat. You know how stupid that would be? Wow, the sheriff, he abducts a 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show host, so that his television show can really get a good boost. I don't know how they still have Annie's car. We talked about that in here. That part's interesting. That they still have it. I mean, do we really know for certain now that they don't have it back? So we heard about that before they had that little meeting where they showed up at the house. All right, guys, we need 1 more gifted membership. Can somebody do it so we can reach the goal? You didn't hear of what one? Yeah, I mean, it could have been released just at the same time that same day. You know, we don't know because nobody's reported on it since then. The reporting that they had the car was before Tommaso, Annie, and Savannah all met over at Nancy's home. Man, why is it so hard to get this last one, you guys? Are you guys trying to make it difficult? We just need 1 more gifted membership, or $3.51, or $4, whatever the hell it is, to reach a challenge where $50. Hey, there we go. We got Jessica Schubach did it. All right. Thank you. Jesus. What do you mean that conspiracy that you just read? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're referring to, man. Have a better sentence. I didn't read a conspiracy, so... Like, it would be a cool song if we could hear it up there. I just can't get the audio to work anymore. Thank you, Betty Black. Very cool. Thanks. Thank you so much. They canceled what episode? And then Betty Black, you did the one? Yeah, well, Jessica Schubach did it anyways. All right, let's see. All right, so guess what? Let me go use the restroom, and then you can already call in if you want. And I'm gonna use the restroom, and then we'll take the calls. And you know, even if you've called in before, go ahead.
Stupid as...
Where is that one? I'll be back in a minute. I gotta use the facilities. Now my arm just did that again. I wonder if it's this pad or something. I don't know. Weird. Who knows? Yeah, I think that whole pacemaker thing is like zero chance. It might help find her once they've determined a... I think the pacemaker thing is a good idea, not to find her just out of nowhere. But I think it'll be valuable once they identify somebody. And then they, track, see what they were doing. They can somehow figure out where they may have gone and then do the low-level flying around in those areas. But that's just, to me, it's just... But isn't it interesting, you guys? See, that's another one of those elements that I was talking about. I think it's interesting that they were flying the helicopter around sort of in the area with that thing. You know? See, that, again, it almost seems like they are not convinced that Nancy completely made it out of this area based on the information that they had. You know what I mean? Because I remember them flying around low all around in these areas over here. Then they also did fly around up in the mountains, but it's kind of interesting, though, isn't it? Well, who's calling in? Come on, let's go. You too, Raven. You can do it. And all you do is you click on the link at the top of the chat there. That would be explain the guy being comfy. Well, then why was he removing the camera, Wheezy? See, that's the dilemma there. There's always some counter to everything. If he felt comfortable using the jammer, why did he need to remove the camera at all? If that's why he felt comfortable, you know. And thanks again up there, Betty Black. That was very kind of you. Thank you. We made it to 80%, or 70% of a goal, so that's good. The pacemaker has, it can send out a Bluetooth signal, and then it's findable on a phone, something that can find, you can see it there, but also I think there's a station in the home that would pick it up. But yeah, it's findable. You know, like when you get a pair of earplugs in, same thing. I know, it has Bluetooth. I just said that. All right. You on there? I don't know who 206 is.
That's me, Gray. I just realized I'm on with you live, so I had to mute because I'm making all kinds of noises over here. But thank you for having me on.
Well, who's you? Like, what's your name? Hello?
Sasha from Seattle.
Oh, yeah? Well, you sound familiar. Like
I know, because I've called you. The last time I called up was after you made the 3D model of the Idaho 4 case.
Yeah.
And I commended you on the animation there. And everybody thought I was a troll when I called in. And that was
yeah. You do have that. There's something about the way you interacted. I'm always nervous. I've got my hand on the button.
Well, I wanted to comment again here on your animation. I want to thank you for making it. It's really clear. I think you're right on with it. But one thing I noticed was with your animation, of course, you're pointing out that the whole time it's one person. And I wanted to ask you what the significance of that is in your opinion.
Well, I'm not certain there's one. I just think it's more likely one person. There's been no information that's been presented by anybody that suggests a second person. Nothing. There's not one shred of anything that says, oh, there's a second person there. People want to pretend that other image is somebody else, the one without the backpack. I don't know. But the significance to me is just that, to me, it looks like there's just one person. That has nothing to do with anything, Lynn. She's saying mixed DNA. I mean, there's DNA all over the place. People in the house touch DNA. It doesn't have anything, All right, what else you got?
That's really about it, because I think you covered. I was thinking of something else I could ask, because I think you covered the other.
Well, what do you think? Do you think there's more than one person, or that showed up?
The other. No, I don't see any evidence of another person at all in any of the publicly facing information that we've been presented with.
Right.
And when you debunked when everyone, it's just like, look at that light over there. Yeah. He said it's just the reflection of the. Yes, of course it is. And the person appeared. He's wearing the same clothes, or the individual is wearing that same clothes, and the other camera capture of them, it looks like the same person to me. So there's been no other person presented. So as far as I can concerned, it looks like one person too.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the same balaclava, same general structure. He's just further away. I bet you that's like a still frame from a thumbnail that was created on the app, and that's all they were able to collect. I think. I don't know if that's part of a video that they have. Just one frame, though.
Well, I don't, and interestingly, I don't think we've seen all the video we have, and I look forward to a future date when,
Oh, yeah.
Similar to the Koberger case, when finally that was fascinating when all the photos of the house finally came out.
Yeah. And all the different surveillance footage that they had and all that.
Yeah. But we had to wait a long time for all that to come. So I think it'll be the same thing in this case, that we'll get a lot of information down the line. But right now we're kind of all left guessing. And I just wanted to let you know that I think you're really right on the right track on the timing and the timeline and things on your animation. So
thank you.
Please keep it up.
The non-troll that sounds like you could be one. That's cool though. Hey, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. All right. Well, we had the call. What was his first name? From Seattle. Yeah. So who else is calling in? Come on, you guys. It's easy. It's easy. And don't forget to keep supporting the channel. We got to about 70%, but we still need to, just froze up now. Like, see how these long lulls that happen? Makes it hard. Even the camera, we don't know who it is. Yeah, the mixed DNA thing doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean, oh, there's two people. It means that, let's say touch DNA on a counter and there's multiple people DNA that's been there. And, it's just, it doesn't mean that there's multiple suspects at all. It could mean that, but it doesn't mean that. Yeah. It seems like a lot for one. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's absolutely simple, especially when you have a gun. He only broke one camera that we know of. So, he removed the camera that we see him on video doing. And then apparently no other cameras were removed. He broke a light. So all this person did was show up to a house, remove a camera, go around the back, hop over a fence, activate a camera at 212, broke a floodlight, and then goes into the home, and then a little while later is leaving the house with Nancy at gunpoint, and then puts her in a car and leaves. You know, it's like the Delphi case. He had one person and two girls, 13 and 14 years old, Abby and Libby, and one person, a little tiny guy, controlled them both with a gun. That's what I think. Right. Right. Let's see if somebody else can do. We need, like, if we got one or 1.5 more challenges, we'd reach. I want to get to the point where I can donate my 5. So we're currently, like, I'd say 17 gifted channel memberships away from that. But a challenge would get us partial there, unless it's a big one. If we had another one just like Betty Black did, then we could do it. Now, the camera on the roof is the one that I explained, is the one that filmed. He didn't remove the camera on the roof. Where did you hear that? He didn't remove the camera on the roof. There's a camera right back here. You can actually see it on Google Earth. That's how accurate Google Earth is. That little nodule right there that's sticking out is the camera. And then that black little area there is the solar panel. And so when he jumped over the fence, that camera picked up motion at 212, but didn't do any video because she hadn't paid her bill. And then he goes inside the house there. I don't know. Who told you that camera was broken? I've never heard that. Yeah, I think people just invent a lot of stuff. No, it wasn't just covered, Lynn. You're wrong. What's going on tonight, man? What's happening in here? Yeah, it's crazy. The Ring doorbell camera at the front of the house was removed by the person wearing the balaclava. They do not know where the camera is. The sheriff said that. He goes, yeah, we don't have the camera. He actually went up and removed it, and it disconnected from the network, and they do not know where the camera is currently. Because it got sent to the cloud, Lynn. Haven't you've been following this the whole time? Come on. It got sent to the cloud anyways, the video, right? However, because they hadn't paid their bill, the video gets put out on the cloud, and it takes up a certain amount of sectors. And then then there's a new motion. It's possible that the new motion would write right over the top of that one. It might not, but it's not visible to a person because it wasn't converted into being able to watch it because you didn't pay your bill. But Google is able to back engineer and turn it into a video. Don't you remember that? Man, you guys are watching the wrong channels. I can tell you that. Yeah, they don't need to take her phone. It's one person wearing a balaclava. That's what I'm saying. Well, they didn't know she wasn't paying her bill. That's why they removed the camera. See, let me just explain this really simply here. They walk up, the guy walks over here, and he wants to cover that camera merely to make it so the camera cannot film his car driving here. Then he removed the camera. If he knew that she didn't pay her bill, he would have left the camera there. And if he knew how it all worked, that she wouldn't be able to watch a video, he wouldn't have cared about the camera. But he removed the camera because he needed to make sure it wasn't filming his car. In fact, he didn't have any idea that they didn't remove it. Now, if he thought the jammer was working, I'm not sure why he needs to remove the camera either. So I'm not 100% convinced there was a jammer and all this stuff. Anyways, he removed the camera so that it wouldn't film his car right here. That's it. The other camera he doesn't care about because he's got a balaclava on. If he wasn't moving his car right here, he never would have cared about that camera at all. I guess it's possible he still would have cared, wondering if that camera would film a car driving by, but it's kind of far behind the trees over there. You get it? What do you mean? There's 3 cameras there. I don't understand what you're saying. He doesn't care about the other cameras because they're not filming the car. That's all he cared about. If you notice, he goes up to what he believes is an active camera and does not care at all in the video. Just try to follow along here. Look, he just walks right up to this one, doesn't care. He's walking around doing stuff because he's got his balaclava on, etc. But he wants to block it because in a few minutes he's going to have a car parked right there. So that's why this camera is the only one that's important. Yeah. Well, there's another camera. See, this is where his car is going to be parked. Now, if you're out on the street over here, see, let me just show you how this looks. There is a camera, I think, on... I'm not sure you can even see it. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. He didn't care about this. See, back there's a camera on that building over there, but this is behind trees and a huge cactus. So it didn't matter. What he cared about was once he pulled into that driveway there and drove around, he's going to be parking his car right there, and that camera could see him. You see? So that's the only camera that he cared about blocking, because that's where his car was going to be. Then he goes around the back. He probably didn't even notice that this camera was even there, this one. He jumps over the fence. That picked him up at 212. Then he goes inside the home. I think he was avoiding this camera. And why set it off? You have this camera. He goes around the back. He just didn't know that this one existed. Then he goes inside of the house. And then eventually takes Nancy out the front, as we know, puts her into the car and drives away. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Ah, Jesus, my God. Oh, Jesus. How come it just keeps going, Lynn? I just explained it so clearly. I don't know how to do it better. I don't know. Well, if he'd gone there multiple times, he might have only really cared about the camera in the front there, which you'd see at every, like when you walk up, that one image, this one right here, this one, see that? He's probably looking right at the camera, and he saw it there, whatever date this is. So he's like, okay, great. I'll have to deal with that when I get there. I'm going to have to block that. So he gets there, you think he would have been prepared with duct tape or something, but he wasn't. And then he ends up just removing it. And then, perhaps he walked around. He did see that one on a different date. Don't know. Right. Yeah. So so we got trolls in here again, you guys. Yeah. Yeah, get rid of that. It's always the people that get the free memberships right away. They would never have bought one themselves. Okay. See you later, Hannibal. Good luck. Troll Central. And yeah, if she didn't pay for the camera storage, that doesn't mean the police can't get access to it. Right. So she hadn't paid. Why wouldn't she pay? Well, I don't know. She just didn't. How do we get an answer for that question? It could have been something that was auto pay and her card became invalid after a while. Something like that, right? I don't know. I don't really look at it like, why wouldn't she do something? All I care about is that it wasn't. Coming up with that answer is futile, and nor does it have any value to the case. It's just sort of like, she didn't pay because, well, we just have to know now she didn't, and that's why it was difficult to retrieve the video, yet it was still retrievable. Now, obviously, the person at the front door didn't realize that she hadn't paid her bill, and it made the video difficult. Unless they were really deep into it. Oh, they can still retrieve it on the cloud. He wasn't aware because he was trying to deactivate it. So he wasn't aware that she hadn't paid her bills. Who said it wasn't what? I have Nest Cams. We didn't get the subscription because we get alerts, and if needed, have them. And by the way, if you're out there, Hannibal, whatever the hell your name is, you probably think you're typing, but nobody can see it anymore. You've been removed. Yes. On my channel, I do try to bring in funds on my channel, you guys. Yes. I actively try to bring in super chats to help support the channel. And also, we give thousands of dollars. My channel's given $288,000 in 6 years to true crime related charities, scholarship funds, and a DNA fund. If you can find another channel out there that's even been close, let me know, or even give a nickel. Let me know. Yeah, great. Yeah, it goes to my channel. Look at these trolls that show up in here. It's just crazy, man. Get out of here. Be easy, man. God bless you. Yeah, bullshit, man. Yeah, we donate. I donate probably right around 30 to 35. Some months it's more, or, it's hard. Some months we don't bring in enough income to make a big dent, but last month we donated $5,000 and we're at 8,000 this year so far. So if you guys could please help support the channel, we need some more channel memberships. Like I said a while ago, we're not even close to just the goal yet. We made a big dent in it there from Betty Black. Law enforcement said she didn't have a subscription. It was in the press conferences. Yeah, it was described. I think I have it over here even. Let's see. Is it one of these? In this one, maybe? Oh, that was something else. I'm not sure. I mean, I have the clips from it. No, I can't saddle makeup. Let's see. I don't even have what you're talking about. I don't think anyone, the neighbor, would lie in her case. They were the only ones. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like who said somebody was lying? I said that I just think people are like, oh yeah, they want to be popular. I think the one person was accurate that said that it said that it was unavailable. Yeah, I was in the press conference by the sheriff. He's and the FBI agent was right behind him. When he was describing it, he said that and the problem is whenever you bring up the sheriff, everybody goes, oh, he's full of, and I just hate that shit. Everything he says is not true, right? Every single freaking word that comes out of his mouth. It's been explained. People know that she didn't pay her bill. And when that happens, you can't watch the videos, but it still puts it out on the cloud. It's just not put in a way that you can watch it. And it's also immediately, it can be written over. It's almost created and deleted. All right, how do we get one more challenge going in here? Man, it's just these huge drops and lulls are hard to deal with. Well, then how do they, if they don't get the subscription, what do they use for then? They can't watch the video? I don't know what her net worth is. I'm sure Savannah probably takes care of her. You mean so somebody could have watched it for 4 hours or so? Huh. I got 5 on it. What's that mean? Is that your challenge? You gonna do a 5 for $5? Hey, we got Jim Lawn. All right, there we go. We need 5 gifted memberships, and then he'll match 5. That'd be sweet. Hey, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Good night, Linda Howe, as in Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Oh, there's Wild Bill again. Thanks, Wild Bill. Oh, and there's Sandy Will 63. If anything, suspect or anything. Hey, and there's Sherry C. Hey, do you see we covered that other case right at the beginning? Thank you. And Wild Bill Wassman. Oops. Come on, who's calling in, you guys? You guys always have so much to say, but you just have to click on the StreamYard link. I'm going to put it back in there. Here we go. Here is the StreamYard link. Let's see what you got. All right, I just put it in the chat since you're not looking at the top of the chat screen there. What's the news? Anybody have any, is there anything new that's come out? Because I haven't heard anything. It's always kind of like a rehash of something from before. See, when you watch that video, does that look like they think Tommaso did something? Wouldn't Savannah be aware that they're looking into somebody? And Annie? It just doesn't seem that way at all. It seems like they, so I'm, at this point, I'm sort of, anything's possible, but I'm not focusing on them. Nah, that's not what I said, Kobe. Did you even listen to my sentence? Yeah. Oh, I say, wait, maybe you did. Are you saying, no, it doesn't look like they believe? Yeah, they know he's gone. But they don't think, you're saying you don't think that they look like they think he did it, right? Maybe that's what I asked. I don't know. All rehashing over and over. Well, you're here tonight, Tamsters. Know what? Nothing. Did you see the girl that went up to the front door yesterday? It was odd. No, I don't. It's only odd because it makes it intriguing to say it's odd. But hey, you guys, we need 2 more gifted channel memberships up there. Yeah, I think they know that I think they knew that she passed away on her second Instagram post. And I said it in this show, and I think I accurately went and portrayed exactly what she was saying. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Again, I have it somewhere, like right around, is it the 5th, 6th? Yeah, it's this one right here. I'll tell you what this is saying.
We received your message and we understand.
We received your message and we understand that our mom is dead.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
We beg you to return, or let us know where her body is so that we can celebrate her life with her here.
This is the only way we will have peace.
And we'll only have peace if we have her body back so that we can bury her.
This is very valuable to us.
In fact, it's the only way we can have peace, and we're willing to pay you to tell us where her body is.
And we will pay.
And we will pay. I think that's exactly what she was saying in this one. Hey, is this Timothy?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on? Yeah. What's going on?
Nothing. I was just wondering,
oh, sorry, I had to think. Hey, go ahead.
No, I'm just I'm trying to think through this. Do you think this case is going to be solved though? Because I just don't know. Like they haven't seemed like they haven't made any progress. Or they're not really close to any suspects.
But that's what. But here's the thing: weren't we saying the same thing in the Idaho 4 case? Like after 3 or 4 weeks, we were just going, "Oh boy, this looks cold." Man, everybody's bitching about. Remember the local cops? They don't know what the hell they're doing. This and that, and nobody had a clue. They talked about, oh, there's a car, but man, they already had his name when everybody's still bitching, and they just had to do all the rest of the work. So hopefully there's something similar in this one. How about that?
Yeah, maybe. So
it is weird, right? They got a picture of the guy and everything. He's standing there. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I get why. I don't think it's a cartel. Like someone was saying it's cartel. I don't think it's that at all. I kind of personally think the motive is like financial, but that's just my opinion. What I think happened is they were there to abduct her. I know you said this before, so
yeah,
they were there to abduct her, and then she ended up dying though, like after,
Yeah,
like you said,
and the ransom opportunity is gone.
Right.
And then they tried to maybe, they weren't able to prove life. So then they realized, you know what? Any communication we have at this point might help the FBI find us. And so let's just quit doing any of that. Because if they find us and she's not alive, then we'll be murder and probably get the death penalty.
Right, exactly. But that's what I think happened, is that it was like a financially motivated crime, and then she died after because she's older, so she couldn't survive a long time without her medication. I mean, is that what you think too? Or
I don't know if that's if it was just it probably is that she just didn't have her medication, but maybe there was something that a blow, and then she kind of freaked out, and maybe she died of something else, it's hard to say.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, definitely that's why he covered the camera. Like I wish we could see more footage of like when he went over the fence, in the back, the camera in the back. But I don't think
if that's where, the thing, I'm just throwing it out what I think happened. This case has so little information. I mean, there's quite a bit of information, but there's not a lot of information to really put together a story or like a theory that you feel incredibly confident on. Like I feel pretty good about mine, but I don't think of it the same as I did, like even in the Delphi case. If it's weird, is the Delphi case, even though they didn't have a suspect for 5 years, my theory and flow of the crime, remember that? The flow of the crime in the Delphi case?
Yeah,
that's still, even after they made the arrest finally, and it went to trial, my flow of the crime is exactly the same, and it happened exactly the way I had it all those years before, even without an arrest. And so this one, I don't feel like that. I don't feel the same confidence that it's going to be exact. I mean, I don't know where he parked. In that case, we knew where the parking was, especially when they started talking about the abandoned CPS building, and then we knew where the parking spot was that the girls were dropped off at, and everything else, the bridge, there was a video. We knew where the video was taken, then where their bodies were found, etc. So you could all put it all together. This one doesn't have enough stuff.
I mean, it almost seems like he walked up. Well, I think that's what happened. Like he parked down the road and then walked up with the backpack on, then went back to the car put the backpack in the car, and then moved the car up into that like driveway after removing the camera. I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, we don't really know. I don't know.
I mean, my theory is like he goes to the house and he's already got the backpack on, and then apparently then he walks away for 20 minutes. But he probably had stuff in the backpack that were sort of, helpful for any situation he might have been in. So it didn't, he's going to keep carrying it around, and then he gets in the car. I guess he'd have to take the backpack off to drive a car, because it was big like that. So again, I mean, those are the problems, like how did that happen? Obviously the car was moved over there. So did he take take his backpack off, drive it, and then put the backpack on again really quick? Who knows? Because you can't drive with that big bulking thing.
No, it's just a weird case, and like all the information has been rehashed into oblivion. So it's kind of like, I don't know where we really go from here until we get like new information. Because it's like,
I know, yeah. Well, the problem is that people want to talk about it, and when I do cover something else, nobody shows up. So just gotta.
Yeah, I actually like the other case we're talking about.
I guess we're in the phase of YouTube where we've got to do what the most people want to do. Now, though, people will type in, "Oh, I want to talk about something else," and as soon as we do that, there's 150 people watching. It's just so it's. But I find this case interesting. That's the thing. I find it interesting. Even without data, it's an interesting case. I just wish there was a little bit more. They should be having more press conferences so that there's something for people.
Like where do you think she is right now? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think she's. I mean, I hope she's alive somewhere, but I'm sort of picturing that she's been buried somewhere out in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So, all right, well, I'll let someone else call in, so we'll see.
All right, Timothy Cecil. Hey, thanks for calling in.
All right, see you, man. Bye.
See ya. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. So that's my final thing for tonight, I guess, would be for my challenge. If you guys do the 3 or 5 memberships, I'll do 5 myself. So that'll be 10. I also hope that Nancy's alive, but my hope is going away. Yeah, it seems like it's already been so long. I don't know how she'd be alive at this point. I mean, the pacemaker would work. She'd need to have the medicine, I guess, or blood thinners and whatnot. Yeah, we know the faith. You're not bringing in something new. No, higher ups didn't do anything. Let's see. Hey, Betty Black, you still here? We gotta get it all on the same page on this one. Hey, look at Tamster is gonna do one, not mine. Okay, so if you do that one, I'll donate 5 too. So that means if 5 people send in a channel membership, Tamsters will give 5, and I'll give 5 too. How do you think? What do you think of that? Yeah, Epstein case is real. It has nothing to do with this, but sure. Yeah. Hey, Raven, call in now. You can do it. Jeez. Yeah, it was disconnected, Lynn. We've been saying that forever. It was disconnected from the network. Where have you been, Lynn? Let's see. Did somebody send me that map that you're talking about? All right, let's see if we can get 4 more of those, and then we'll gift 10. It'll be Hamsters will do 5, and I'll give 5. How do you know? How do you know that, Addie? There is a ping in the desert on 2-4. Come on, give me a break. Jeez. You guys come up with some crazy stuff. There's no way to know. How would you know anything about that? Let's see what this one is right here. Body found in Phoenix Canal amid Guthrie case. Oh, boy. Yeah, any body found. Let's see what it says. Authorities in Maricopa. This is Lynn's just sent me this one. Authorities in Maricopa. Well, let's see. Was that other update? Oh, it was not connected. She just found out. Okay, so forget it. Adult female was on nearby the canal bank and was unresponsive. Okay. Well, right. Well, she's in this. It wouldn't be. You wouldn't say non-responsive. It was Nancy. It would be a state of decomposition if she was killed that long ago. I don't have it, man. You'd have to go get it for me, Addie. All right, who's going to do it? We need 4 more of those. Come on, have a little bit of enthusiasm. We can do it. Oh, maybe I do have. Is it this thing? This thing right here? I don't know if that's existing. Oh, that was for the sewage. I don't know. Felt like I would have had that somewhere. Yeah, I guess you'd have to go find it. Hey, thanks, Miss Kyla. Hey, I'm not saying Missy, although that K sort of disappears in my sight. It looks like it's just Missy. Okay, well, send the link again. I didn't get it. I mean, if somebody went in there, like my theory is that they went in there just to abduct Nancy Guthrie. I mean, that means they must have been aware that Savannah is the mother to be able to get huge amounts of funds. So I wonder how that took place. I mean, there was the story about just recently her showing, even the home and everything when Savannah came and visited. So maybe that was it. Gifting memberships help because somebody who's gifted a membership might stay as a member the next month. We have $1.99 a month for the lowest tier, so somebody might stay around. That's why. But super chats are cool too, But we need 3 more. It could be either super chat or gifted memberships. They're kind of the same. I mean, they're $5 or how much the gifted memberships cost. But we need okay, for you it's $2.99. I don't know. For some people it's $2.99. I think if you're an Apple, it's only $1.99. I can show you. Not sure why that's like that for you, but I wish they could raise it to that. That'd be sweet. Yeah, I'm not sure why Apple. So I think Apple gets $1 out of that because I don't get it. It's pretty cool. This I'm able to download the 3D models from Google Earth, any of it. Like I could do New York City if I wanted to. Skipping for ransom is statistically almost non-existent. Yeah, kidnapping for ransom. Yeah, it doesn't really happen too much anymore. Hey, thank you. Elpis Trapped. Okay, that's 2 of them right there, Tamsters. We'll count those. Even though those aren't memberships, but that'll be 2, 3, 4. We need 1 more of those. Some people just don't get to do the memberships. I think it's, remember how the law enforcement was looking around in this area here? And they were back here too, but that was where that sewage, I forgot the name of it, what they call those things. All right, we need 1 more gifted membership, and then we'll gift 10 more. I'll do 5, and Tamsters will do 5. Come on, that's pretty sweet. I'm gonna just do the full monitor so you can, let's see, that big. All right, here we go. Start it right there. All right, for those who hadn't seen the animation. I think it was septic tank is what I was thinking of. No thanks, Addie. That's so simple just to get and send an email. I don't have time to. Who's going to be the one that does it? We need 1 more. It doesn't help anything. Yeah, I don't see it. All you have to do is send an email. Pretty simple. Hey, there's Jim Lawn. Man. It's so hard to get people to help. Just thank God for the freaks. All right, here we go. And there's my 5 right there. And then here comes the vehicle. Pulls in the darkness. Maybe the moonlight. Gets out of the vehicle. Ah, Jesus. My God. Thank you, Tamsters. And welcome to all the new members out there. And thank you, freaks, for all you guys do helping support the channel. Really appreciate it. It's about the only way to make it. there's no ad revenue to speak of on these live streams. So I don't get 17,000, 30,000 people watching. So he's inside the house, then exits with Nancy. And drives away. Could have turned left, could have turned right, don't know. I think law enforcement has a suspect vehicle, and they've had one for a while. They know the general shape of it. They've probably narrowed it down to certain types of cars. Maybe that's had something to do with why certain people have been detained, etc. But I think somebody at right around the time at 228, between 228 and 240, they probably have a good idea where the vehicle went, and they're very certain that they have the suspect vehicle on camera, just not really clear. It's always through the trees, or maybe they got a little look of something. But I guarantee you they have something like that they have. I think if somebody, a reporter or somebody, went to every single house in the area and asked questions, you might be able to determine what the hell's happening. Because somebody, I guarantee you, somebody in this area here has footage that the FBI is using currently, and even the sheriff's department, that has footage on it. Now, it might look strange, like, I mean, not strange, but just it's through the trees, right? You're just going to see the light. Like, for example, let's say when the person drove away, it won't, not like how I have it. Let's say they went to the left. Maybe the camera here picked up, if it's a 24/7 camera, not a motion activated one, maybe it picked up just a light on the road. And they know that that's the car, though, right? They know that that's it because it's leaving right at 229 or something. It's going like right there. Then this camera right here gets a little glimpse of it, and maybe that would be a little clearer because it's right there. So they got sort of a shape of it. And then it's heading out, and then maybe not, a time that's consistent with it. A camera over here picks it up. It's just a light, though, but they know it's probably the same car because of the amount of time it would take. And then they keep doing the same thing, and then eventually they just kind of lose it because there's not a camera in a certain spot. Something like that, I guarantee you they have that kind of information. Yeah, weren't they saying like a delivery van or something? When you say they, who's they, Lynn? I don't remember law enforcement ever saying that. You mean YouTubers? I guess Betty Black took off. I wasn't mean or anything. I was just trying to. We just got to get the data. It's there's a lot of people out there on social media that put out. They're just not concerned. Show me, Lynn, where they said the suspect vehicle is a white vehicle. Show it to me. Find a reference to it. I don't agree with you. I think that's just what your memory is telling you. I don't believe it. The specific white. Yeah, well, that was the delivery van. I remember that part. Okay, that's all. Like they were just saying a delivery van or something. I don't know. I'd have to see the clip of it. Right. Wouldn't doubt it, Jessica. Wouldn't doubt it. because he pulled plants. I don't know. What do you mean? Law enforcement was looking for a specific, white truck. Right. Well, that's probably why they were able to rule out this Kia that was right here driving by. The timing of that is great, though. It's even going in the right direction, away from the home. 8 minutes later. Kind of makes sense. But they must have tracked the car, and that doesn't make sense that would be the vehicle. It doesn't work. That's why the FBI is saying that. Now, the sheriff said, we haven't identified the driver of that car yet. I'm not sure what does that even mean, though? The FBI already said it's not the one because that's not what they were tracking. Just because you haven't identified the driver doesn't mean anything. I'll tell you what would be interesting, though. If you looked in this whole area here and you looked up Kia Soul, what was it again? Kia, whatever the hell it was, Soul. And there isn't any in this area here. I guess you'd have to include right here. Let's say there's nobody in this area has a Kia Soul. Then that would make that more interesting because it's like, well, what the hell was that car doing there at 2:30 something? That would make it more interesting. For sure. Don't you think? Yeah, right. I thought there was I don't remember what the vehicle was. Were they brothers? I don't remember if they were brothers or not. Said he had informed the police about the unmarked van. Oh yeah, I remember the whole thing about that. Right. But that just means he informed the police about an unmarked van. That doesn't mean that law enforcement was looking into it. Like, oh yeah, that's something they're really focused in on. They may have taken it down and went, okay, let's take a look. That's about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe it was Carlos, the delivery driver. He said he doesn't remember if he was back in that area. I don't know. Where's the scanner audio? Is it on the? Yeah, you guys always give stuff that's so vague. It's just unbelievable. It'd be great if you said, "Hey, at 3:07 a.m. in the middle of the night, or 1:36, there was a scanner audio that mentioned a white truck and feds around." Then I'd go, "Oh, cool. Let's go find it." But we can never do that. Was detained at Culver's in Range Rover. Yeah, well, guess what? The person that was detained, sort of interesting because the person that was at Culver's is actually the Daily person, the one that did the interviews recently. I don't know where the other person, Zach or whatever his name is, where he plays in. Like, how is he somebody? How did he show up in information that law enforcement was looking for? That like he was one of the three people. How did he become one of those people? Yeah, he was the one in that vehicle. But then there's the other person, Zach, who was one of the three. How did he end up being one of those three? Mm-hmm. I'm just looking up anything. Oh, look at this. The daughter of Nancy Guthrie has one eye that shows more of the white of the eye than the other, which is unusual trait. Oh, wow. The mask might fool people, but the eyes don't lie. Oh, God. Jeez. 3,000 miles away and a little before when missing, but I don't know, man. Not saying it's something, but oh, God. These people are just... You are saying it's something. That's why you're showing it. Yeah, let's see what this one is. A jammer, huh? I guess we can see that. Let's see. Huh. That still picks something up there, though, you know. Mysterious woman just arriving. Mysterious woman. Guthrie's home and went to her front door. Very strange. See, that's what JLR does. He is a clown. Why is it very mysterious? You know what it is? It means what you're doing is you're sitting around all day filming a house, and the slightest anybody walking by, it's the strangest thing in the world because it'll grab people. How is that weird or anything? Look at that. Let's see. Let's say you're watching that. Okay, lady walks up. You know what she probably is just a content person that wanted to walk up. Nobody's paying attention and maybe get a look. She seems to be looking at where the blood spatter was right there. I might try something like that. And then she probably filmed something and walked away. What did he say to her? God, what an absolute dipshit that guy is. I mean, just who cares? Who cares why they went up there? Who cares if there's a no trespassing sign? People do it. He does that all the time, you guys. He's one of the worst that there ever was. What difference does it make that she walked up there? She probably wanted to film it. She had the guts to walk up there and film it and then walk away. You know, who cares? Yeah, she probably shouldn't have done it because it says no trespassing, but she did it, right? He probably wishes he did it. What a psycho following her around like that. God, that guy's just the worst. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Who cares, Darlene? He's an idiot. Okay. I'm sorry that you have you ever looked him up on Wikipedia, Darlene? Maybe give that a shot one time. It was 6:04 p.m. yesterday. West 1 dispatch. Okay, so is that going to be on in here? Let's see. Yeah, Yeah, go look it up. If you don't want to look it up, then don't talk. Don't say, "Oh, he's changed. He's the same." Damn, he's been the same. He's the same. He's the same person. Right here. All right, we can go to here. Archive. You said it was 6:04 yesterday. West 1 dispatch. What did you say? 6:04. Oh man, where is it? Right there. This one. I didn't hear it. See, what a waste of time. That wasn't the right time. Yeah, I didn't see it there at the time that you said. Okay, but you didn't. It wasn't even on the one that you said, Addie. Hey, Darlene, you're just a troll. Okay, don't worry about it. Oh, you guys can't hear it. You're coming here and you just kept trying to support somebody who's an absolute nut job monster out there who just trashed this lady when he does the same thing every single day. Okay, I'm sorry if that offended you, but I wasn't being nasty to you. I'm just telling you that you got to look. That guy is a crazy person. All right. So if that's something that bothers you, I'm sorry about that, but I wasn't rude to you or mean or anything. Yeah, nobody was mean to you, Darlene. So don't try to do. We don't need your goodbye speeches, etc. Okay, nobody cares. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay if you don't. I mean, all I'm just trying to say is you kept throwing out a defense. He's there every single day. He's doing this. He's got. Oh yeah, great, good for him. You know, if I went there, I wouldn't sit there and camp out on that street all day. I can just tell you, I'd be over there filming stuff to give people a better perspective of what things look like. Now, I don't know if you can still fly a drone around. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what made her get so upset like that. I just wanted her to look at the thing. Okay, cool. Hey, Darlene, don't worry about it. I wasn't even mad or upset about you. It's his name is one that whenever I see people type it in, it frustrates me. You know? So maybe that's my problem. It has nothing to do with you. Nobody was upset with you. I don't know where you came up with that. There's something on that. Right? It's okay, Darlene. Don't worry. No problem. Okay, these are all. Yeah. Well, I have this for the 6th. Do you even have it? I forget. I don't have time. Maybe I misread it, Darlene. But it wasn't, there was nothing directed to you. It was just like, look into that guy. It's crazy. I'm not looking it up anymore, Addie. I already did. I filtered the scanners. I did it. It didn't work. I filtered it for law enforcement. Yeah. You didn't give me accurate information. All right. You didn't. For 604, there was nothing. There was nothing at the other time that you gave me. Okay. I'll try it again. We'll try it again. This is the kind of stuff, though, that just frustrates the hell out of me. It's so, there's almost no, it's just, I don't know what's going on. Arizona, Pima County. Listen. Archive. Yes. Filter. Groups. Law dispatch. Oh, I see. What was it called again? West 1 dispatch. Okay. Is it the Xavier one? Yeah. So just this right here then, right? That's it. All right. So let's go all the way to like 603. That's 603. It skips all the way from this one. There's nothing. It goes from 613 to 632. It doesn't. There's nothing up there. I think that's what they're talking about. That's okay. It's okay. I don't know what the time frame is. They have that should be local time on the scanner there, though. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, thanks for trying, though. We almost had something. I think. I don't know. Is there any more info on the body found in Phoenix Canal? I don't know. I think they said that it wasn't. Isn't that what Lynn sent? God. Anybody here? It just seems so dead, you know? That's what happens when you're searching for one little piece of audio for 10 minutes. It just everybody doesn't talk. Okay. Yeah, you could try doing that. I don't know. I mean, how's it related to the case, I guess? Yeah, I don't know what Darlene was upset about up there. It doesn't make sense to me. I was just saying when she said, "Oh yeah, he's there all the time," I go, "Man, have you ever looked into this guy?" That's all I was saying. Let's see. Wonder if he was expecting a ring camera instead of the Nest. Ring cameras may be easier to tear off. I think Nests are easier. You just go up and it looks like you just kind of twist it a certain way. There's actually a little thing that you push in and you can take it right off. I mean, he must have seen it before if that was him on a scouting mission in the other photo that we have. Jesus. Anybody going to call in? We had 2 people. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, just too little chatting. It's like about as dead as you can get. So thank you to Carol Silva, Richard Watts, Wild Bill Wassman gifted a membership, then Alley Cake gifted one, and then Wild Bill Wassman another one, and then we have Pam, and then we have Cinnamonson Freak, Alley Cake, Betty Black, who did gifted a membership, and then a super chat. Would have been she made a big difference. Then Alley Cake, and then Betty Black gifted one, and then Alley Cake, then Miss Kyla, then Vicky Retro Queen Bee Art gifted one, then Cheryl became a new member, then Randizzle Randy, Wild Bill Wassman gifted 5, then Cheryl Bullock, Alley Cake, Linda Howe, Randizzle Randy. I think we were going on that 50 thing. Then Tamsters, then Wild Bill Wassman, Michelle, then Jessica Schubach, and then Betty Black. So Betty Black, we would be like woefully short if she wasn't helping out there tonight. And also with Wild Bill Wassman. We had Betty Black again, and then Jim Lawn, Wild Bill Wassman, Sandy Will, Sherry C, Alley Cake. Then we had Grant, Jim Lawn, Grant, a new member, Wild Bill Wassman, Miss Kyla, and Elpis Trapped, then Jim Lawn, myself, or then I gifted 5, and then Tamsters 5. Right there. Yeah, why did she disappear, Betty Black? I wasn't mean to her, I don't think. I was just, she kept talking about the surveillance cameras, and I was telling her how he only removed 1. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know, man. Anyways, thanks everybody for being here tonight. And I hope we get some more information coming out soon so we can put it all together in the puzzle. But it seems like, people have probably already said all they want to say. It's just interesting. I mean, I've already got my theory and everybody else has their theories, etc. So, anyways, thanks everybody. See you guys later. As I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
And thanks, Tamsters.
And during this whole time,
You made a
I
big
have not
difference,
seen one
too.
person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector.
Thank you, Tamster.
Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector
Yeah, I hope it's not a
is
cold
my
one.
nectar.
I think it's
Professor
gonna be a
gonna
cold
give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector.
I think they're onto
Fool
something.
deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, ya. Just remember, I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody. Talk to you later.
Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, and common sense. Oh, and a pesky thing called facts. Thank you very much for watching. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. I think it's going to be, I think they're probably onto something in the background. We're just not aware of it. It's been a while, though. You know, you'd think they'd be even quicker given the gravity of the case, you know, the president giving all resources, etc. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, too. The FBI's got to be out there watching for any possible terror attacks by, you know, Iranian sympathizers, especially there's already been one. So hopefully they, you know, are watching that. I think that's actually more important at this point. And then they can get back to, but I'm sure they'll keep a team on this for sure. But anyways, thanks everybody. We'll see you later.